The world's a dangerous place. Get the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. A laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way.
Broadcasting nationwide, this is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Your views, advice, and questions are the driving force of gun talk. Call Tom now at 866-TALK-GUN. That's 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Or reach out to us via email at tom@guntalk.com. Let us know what you think about the gun-related issues of the day. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
All right, and happy Mother's Day, all the mothers out there. We're still looking for stories about your mom or a mom, shooter, hunter, gun person. We had great stories already of one mom who was a teacher who, as much as she could, every Friday would take all the kids out and take them shooting. One-room schoolhouse. That's a while back. Pretty cool stuff, though. We were out this past week shooting video for both of our TV shows, Guns and Gear and Gun Talk. And we were joined on Tuesday by Mike McNett from DoubleTap Ammo. We had a ball. Mike's joining us right now. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Oh, doing great. Having another nice Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
You betcha. Boy, let me tell you, you know that big old dry, dusty area we were in? Right now, it is a lake. We had 4 inches of rain on Friday, and now it's raining again.
Welcome to Louisiana, right?
That's it.
You know, at least you don't have 10 inches of snow like we just got. So,
oh, my gosh.
It went from 80 degrees to 10 inches of snow in 2 days, believe it or not.
Oh, good grief. Well, I was telling earlier, I kind of teased it. I'm going to let you tell the story about, we did a lot of fun things out at the range. We shot a lot of your rifles, a lot of your ammo. But the one thing we did that was really cool was when you took Abe, our camera guy, who said he hadn't shot a rifle before, and you had him fire his first shot with a rifle. You want to tell that story? Yeah,
sure. That was really pretty cool. We wrapped up the shooting for the day, and I'm not ever done shooting. You know that, Tom.
Of course not.
I tried to figure out another way to shoot, and I heard Abe mention earlier that he'd never shot anything but a shotgun one time. He'd never shot another gun. Mm-hmm. And I said, this is going to be really cool if we can get him shooting. So I said, hey, come on, let's shoot this thing. We're a quarter mile away, and he didn't want to shoot it because you can't see the target with your bare eyes hardly. And make a long story short, I had him sit down and taught him some basics on trigger control and how to operate the rifle. And he had no clue even how to put a round in the chamber, which it was beautiful because he was a raw clay that could be molded. Didn't have any bad
no bad habits.
Habits and all that stuff. So long story short, I got him dialed in there with the scope. So all he had to do was put the crosshairs in the middle, and then I worked a couple of tricks I had on trigger control to make sure he was going to pull it right, and lo and behold, he took a shot and he hit that target that was about 8 inches wide and maybe 12, 14 inches tall. Yeah,
just a big piece of steel out there at a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, quarter mile. He hit it. Pretty darn good shot too. First shot ever, and that was. It doesn't get much better in a day like that. And
no kidding.
Smiles from ear to ear on everybody. And I think we might have got a shooter out of him. So
that was wasn't that the 6.5 by 284?
That's right. Yeah, that was 6.5 284. Pretty mild shooting round. But yet has a high ballistic coefficient bullet and goes relatively fast. With a lighter bullet, the recoil's not bad, so it's good for a new shooter to shoot. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he got back behind it, and he was expecting it to knock him on his tail, and it, of course, it didn't. And so it was pretty neat to see a new shooter get up with a smile and happy, and hear that swunk that you hear from the steel, and oh man, it was exhilarating, I think, for everybody that was there. Well,
he'll tell that story a long time. By the way, we got a note from him. He said, "What kind of rifle was that?" And I'm thinking, I don't remember, because I know you had like 3 different brands of rifles. Do you remember what the 6.5 284 is?
Yeah, that was just a Savage 110 long range hunter, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, not an expensive rifle at all.
No, I always like to take a rifle that anybody can afford and make it accurate and make it really go. And I didn't really do much to that rifle, really. All I did was bed the stock and make sure the trigger was about 3.5 pounds, and that's it. Other than that, it's a bone stock rifle, and he really.
You forgot the part. You forgot the part where you put good ammo in it.
Of course, yeah. That's part of how I make them accurate.
Since you load the ammo.
If you don't have consistent ammo, you can't. It doesn't matter what kind of it's not $300 or a $3,000 rifle. It really doesn't matter much, does it?
No. And speaking of the high end, you were the first person to shoot my new 458 Win Mag. We had a ball shooting that, didn't we?
Oh man, that is a sweet rifle. I really like that caliber, and I really love the how pretty that rifle is. That was a lot of fun to shoot.
Nice piece of wood. And yeah, the thing is, you shot it, I shot it, and then Ryan shot it. And that gun, everybody says, oh, it's just going to knock you on your rear end. It's not bad at all, is it?
No, it's not bad. As a matter of fact, you probably have footage of me hunkered down on the bench. With the worst place to be with a heavy kicking rifle is hunkered down on the bench, and no problem at all. No problem to shoot that thing off the bench. It was a lot of fun, and I'd do it again at any time.
Well, now, we shot a bunch of 6.5s because we're doing the piece on what we call the mid caliber. So we had a 260, a 6.5 by 55, and the 6.5 284. But we also, and you're going to be loading this, or you are loading already, we shot the 26 Nosler the next day, compared it to the 264 Win Mag. What an incredible screamer that 26 Nosler is.
It really is. We're one of the first. Us and Nosler are one of the first to come out with any ammunition for it, and thank goodness they came out with that round. That is a really cool round. Those guys did their homework, and we're trying to take it in a little different direction and see if we can make something kind of a little different than what they do in the ammunition part of it. And so far, I've proved a load and finished a load using that 129 grain long range Acubon that they've got, which has a really high ballistic coefficient, which is how it bucks the wind and keeps its speed. Right. How well it does that, and we're running at 3,600 feet per second, and that's a standard load. Yeah. You laugh because it's incredible. It is incredible.
That's crazy.
We're able to shoot about 200 yards flatter than a 7 mag, and what I mean by that is if you have a 7 mag shoots and it drops 60 inches at 600 yards, let's say. Right. We're able to do the same thing at 800 yards with that gun. So you're taking your range and putting it out 200 yards past what a 7 mag will do.
Unbelievable.
It is an unbelievable round. I'm that's the first load, and the second load I'm in the middle of, which I love getting my hands dirty in the load development, and 140 grainer we're gonna try and push out there in the 3350 to 3375 range. That'll be a really great, bigger game, elk and moose, and pretty much.
At DoubleTap Ammo, you kind of specialize in doing these boutique loads, but you've also got a full line of ammo. You got defense, hunter, tactical, long range, safari stuff. How many? Do you even know how many loads you have now? I
actually have been asked that so many times. I had to finally get down and just count. And the last count that I did was an NRA show just a little while ago, and of course we've added 2 since then. So that was 443. So now we're at 445 loads. Everything from little 32s all the way up to 50 BMGs, and pretty much everything in between.
And you develop all of those loads yourself?
Yeah, every single load that's come out of here, I developed. In the last 12 years, just me.
And you shoot them all?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, that's the best part. Get a chance to get out and shoot them.
Let me ask you, when somebody's saying, I want to have a good load for whatever, for hunting, for whatever, what's the best way for them to figure out what's a good load?
Well, first you have to figure out the purpose of the load. So you have to figure out, you have to ask them what's the load for? And then they'll tell you it's going to be for defense. It's going to be for hunting. They say it's for hunting. Then you say, okay, well, what type of animals will you be hunting? And then they'll tell you they're a big whitetail hunter or whatever it is, a hog hunter. And then you can dial in on a few calibers that work really well for that. And then you can match those up with rifles. And and then we can obviously put the loads together that will work best for that specific animal. Or on the defensive side, hey, it's going to be home defense. I live in an area in New Jersey where I can't carry, and it's going to be strictly home defense. We can get them hooked up with the right load or the right gun if that's what they need to work in that specific situation, and or for carry, it's the same type of thing. You do have to find out if it's someone that's shot a lot, or someone that hasn't, or someone that's got arthritis, or someone that's a lumberjack and could shoot a 500 Smith & Wesson with one hand.
Well, I'm looking at your website. You've got good descriptions for all these loads. So if they said I'm thinking about a 7 mag, but I'm not sure which bullet, you've got descriptions of what each bullet does and the velocities. You get a little bit better velocities than most factory ammo. And the website, by the way, if people don't know, it's DoubleTapAmmo.net. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
DoubleTapAmmo.net.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you have a question that's especially about any of our ammunition that's not answered well enough on the internet, you're welcome to call in, and all the ladies and the guys. We have 2 guys also that answer phones. If it's not answered on the internet well enough, they're very knowledgeable, and they'll give you an answer as technical as you want, really. And if they can't give it to you, I'll get on the phone personally and answer it. So not a problem at all there.
Fabulous. Well, Mike, you got so many different kinds of ammo. I mean, we could spend. Well, we have spent 3 hours talking about it before, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Absolutely.
When we get together, we just talk guns and ammo, man.
It never gets old. I always enjoy talking with you, Tom. And but before we get off, I want to make sure and say Happy Mother's Day to my wife and to my mother, and let them know that I really appreciate them. So.
Absolutely, and keep doing what you're doing. It is always a pleasure to have you down here. People will be able to see you both on Guns and Gear and Gun Talk TV, which started in about a month. We had a ball shooting out there. It's always fun to get together with you, man.
All right, my pleasure, Tom. Anytime.
All right, you take care. Mike McNett at DoubleTap Ammo. Great ammo. I'm not kidding. I mean, it is amazing stuff. The handgun hunting ammo he has with hard cast bullets, that would be my go-to. If I were going to be carrying a pistol in the woods, worried about hogs or bears, that's what I would have. That's DoubleTapAmmo.net. Check it out, all the stuff they have there. All right, 866-TALK-GUN. Yeah, you're right. He is the 10mm king. Ha. And just to tease it, there could be a project somewhere in the foreseeable future where we need some of his ammo again, but I'm not saying anything. 866-TALK-GUN.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to SpringfieldArmory.com. That's SpringfieldArmory.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit SigSauer.com today.
A trophy is in range. Make sure you have the right bullet. Federal Premium Ammunition uses superior components and innovative technology in its Vital Shock line of big game cartridges. The new trophy-bonded tip bullet is built for deeper penetration, higher weight retention, and it's deadly accurate. Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts.
Got gun talk? As we've said for years, be sure and say thanks. Call your local station, or if you see them out and about, let them know you appreciate your gun talk. As for the version we won't broadcast, stick around and participate in the Gun Talk After Show. If you're on hold, tie a knot and hang on a little longer with the Gun Talk crew. Tom, Jim, Michelle, Michael, and you. We'll tackle stuff we don't cover on the airwaves. Speaking of the airwaves version, though, here's Tom.
You know, if you call right now, you're going to talk to our mom in residence, Michelle, our call screener. We'll take care of you. Call 866-TALK-GUN. We'll get you in here. If you got a story about a mom, your mom, another mom, or if you're a mom that wants some information, or you know what, you can just share a story. I don't care. It's Mother's Day. We're kind of all over the place. Well, not that we're not always somewhat random, but that's a whole different thing. 866-TALK-GUN. Let's see. Line 1, Paul's with us out of Minnesota. Hello, Paul.
Hi. I just want to say that both my parents, they grew up on little farms. My dad was a World War II vet. He would have been 100 today. My mom, she's passed away. She would have been 92. But my dad died when I was 12. And, you know, when he was alive, I wasn't able to go hunt with him, but he hunted ducks and he hunted deer. And my mom, she knew from growing up on a farm that guns brought me to the table, and she knew the importance of guns. Well, my brother got his rifle safety when my dad was alive. He hunted ducks with my dad and deer. But when I was 12 and my dad died, a couple of years later, my mom took me to rifle safety to make sure that I had that. And I've always been a gun person, even though my parents died when I was relatively young. My mom died when I was like 33, but I was deer hunting and grouse hunting and stuff. But she knew the importance of guns, and she made sure that I had that gun safety.
That is great. She got you into it. Well, listen, I thank you for sharing that story. We're going to get you that $10 Brownells gift card. For the moms out there, and I know I run into this a lot of mothers, because we have a lot more single moms than we've had in the past, and they have youngsters who grew up and want to go shooting. I want to go hunting. I don't know how to get started this. And the mom maybe doesn't know how to get them into that. A couple of thoughts for you. If you have a youngster, boy or girl, who's interested in shooting or guns, or you just say, look, I think it's important for any child growing up to have gun safety knowledge, just as you would teach them to look both ways before they cross the street. Just have some gun safety information. 4-H is a really good program. There's a 4-H program all over the country. Boy Scouts has a very good program. There are other programs out there. If you just start asking around, it's amazing what you can find out if you just call 2 or 3 gun stores or shooting ranges. If you have shooting ranges in the area, and say, look, I've got a 9-year-old who is interested in guns. Is there a program around? You know, that really works. And usually you're going to find there's something. And you know what you can do, just as a starter, and it's free, is a hunter safety class. Even if you're not planning on going hunting, hunter safety classes are put on by the state. They're free, and you're going to get some basic information about guns, ammunition, gun safety, and also some information about wildlife management, wildlife habitat, population dynamics, those kinds of things. hunter safety class is a great way to get somebody started. It doesn't matter if you talk about a 9-year-old or a 19-year-old. It's good information no matter what. So consider that one. Scott's in Alton, Illinois on 2. Hello, Scott. Welcome to Gun Talk.
Hey, Tom. I sure like your program. And
Thank
I do
you.
have a story, and I could go on about a couple different stories, but I have an aunt that was a city slicking girl. Mm-hmm. And I mean, straight from the city, college cheerleader. And her best friend brought back 2 guys from Colorado. Well, they both end up marrying the guys, and she moved out there. And her husband owns 8,700 acres, and he's a farmer, cattleman, has 6 bulls on the property, and you're 57 miles away from home, from the nearest store. So you learn how to bake, cook, and bake bread, and you don't go to the store except maybe once a month. And she got to shooting rattlesnakes, and she never picked up a gun before, but out her basement window she pulls a little string and looks out in the garden, and the garden is full of animals or whatever comes around. And she has now 6 quart jars of rattlesnake tails. And her husband comes in. What are we having tonight? Because he's, like I said, he's on a 42 plowed disc, doing all kinds of working days. Well, we're having rattlesnake tonight, or we're having young jackrabbit, or we're having and she doesn't go out and catch. They got chickens, so instead of go out and catch the chicken and everything, she just wants to make sure she's a good shot.
She wants to shoot. She wants to shoot it. Let's kill it and grill it is the deal there. That is, Scott. Look, I appreciate the story. I love that thing. Definitely, we're going to get you your Brownells a $10 gift card. That's a great story. City slicker girl marries a guy from Colorado, goes out there, grows up, starts shooting. They can't stop. She's shooting critters and cooking them up. You know what? There are no hormones. It's good, healthy, lean food. Game meat is wonderful. It's good for you. It's organic, and it's actually got all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. So nothing wrong with that at all. 866-TALK-GUNS. Your mom's story right here.
Tom Gresham's Gun Talk is broadcast nationwide every Sunday. If you can't hear Gun Talk where you live, call your local talk format station and clue them in on Gun Talk. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. Now broadcasting nationwide on radio, via satellite, and through downloads, iTunes, the Gun Talk app, and other podcast clients. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
I'm so glad you could be with us. I would ask you to do me a favor. If you could let the radio station you're listening to know that you like Gun Talk. I don't know if they ever get any comments about, I don't like that gun show, but, we do have to remember to say thanks now and then. So just in the course of the week, if you get a chance, let the stations know, hey, appreciate you guys running Gun Talk. If you are listening to this on a podcast and you don't get it locally, you can also ask your local station to start running Gun Talk. We'll help you out with that. Shoot us an email. We'll tell you how to help out on that deal. We'll get it going. But, of course, you can always go to guntalk.com/listen and find a list of all the stations that run Gun Talk. That way, when you're traveling, you can find it wherever you go. And, of course, you can also download it, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, a lot of different ways to pick up your Gun Talk. A lot of ways out there. And I'm running into people all the time who listen to it as a podcast. I guess it's kind of like a DVR. You would record it and listen to it on your own schedule. Makes sense to me. All right, let's go to line 4. Erica is with us out of Kansas. Hello, Erica. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Tom, I'm listening to KFRM 550, and I listen to it almost every Sunday whenever I have an opportunity. But my story is actually back in Germany as a kid, about 10, 12 years old. My mother and I went to a carnival where they had the booth, and you could shoot air rifle.
Mm-hmm.
This was BBs, naturally. And the distance of approximately 22, 25 feet. And if you hit the target, it would take your picture. I had never shot a gun before, But being born under the sign of Sagittarius, I had to give it a try. They let me lean on the counter because the air rifle was heavy, and to steady my aim. It took only one shot, and I got a picture of my mom and I. Naturally, I was tickled pink, and this was when I got hooked on guns and shooting. And I wished I would know what happened to this picture, but it is etched vividly in my memory. And yes, I'm a member of the NRA.
Wow. How long ago was that, Erica?
You had to ask. I'm 72 now. So about 60 years ago.
60 years ago, okay. So you are a member of the NRA. Now, you own a handgun.
Oh, more than one. I don't really want to get into it. Our police chief over here, he's not very happy about this carry deal. And he's very much against it. So I don't want to go on. I don't want it to be publicly known that I have something,
Right. I understand, but good for you for taking charge of your own safety. And also, thank you so much for sharing that is a delightful story of a young girl going to a carnival, shooting the air rifle, and falling in love with shooting. That's a lot of times that's the way it happens. Erica, listen, we'll shoot you that card for Brownell's, a gift card there. Thank you so much. That's a great story. Love that story. Line 1, Mark's in Shreveport, Louisiana, talking about some 44 mag ammo. Hey, Mark.
How's it going, Tom?
Good. How can we help you?
I've got a Ruger Super Blackhawk with a 10.5-inch barrel, and I wanted to know what buffalo bore base their velocities on as far as barrel length.
I don't know. Did you look on the website? Because different companies use different barrel lengths to set up their velocities. Does it say?
What barrel length they use?
Because I know DoubleTap on their website, they tell you this velocity is out of a 7-inch barrel or a 10-inch barrel or whatever, but I'm not sure what buffalo bore does. I would guess it's something probably in that 6-7-inch range, something like that.
Okay, so I should expect a lot more velocity from what they're marked as out of that 10.5-inch barrel.
Generally speaking, now it also depends. Are you shooting that out of a revolver?
Yes, Super Blackhawk.
Okay. They may have developed that velocity out of something like a contender where you're not going to be losing gases with the barrel cylinder gap. So the contender is going to generate more velocity than a revolver is. So there are some variables there. But generally, you're going to pick up 25 to 50 feet per second per inch of barrel. So you're probably looking at 100, 150 feet per second more, something along those order.
Okay. So their bullets are really fast, and I was just wanting to compare.
Right. That probably is where you are. You're probably got 100, 150 feet per second faster than whatever they say. By the way, we just got another a chronograph. I like chronographs. The wonderful, wonderful, wonderful folks at Ehler, OEHLER, Dr. Ehler, developed, he really is kind of the guru of chronographs. And they are making the 35P, their great chronograph again, is really kind of the standard against which all other chronographs are measured. We just got one of those. We'll be using it on the TV show. But it is wonderful. It not only gives you an LCD readout, but it's got a printout, does averages, standard deviation, a lot of other things. If you're really gun geeky like I am, particularly if you're a reloader and you want to develop different loads, having a chronograph is a great idea. And there are a lot of good ones out there. I just happen to really like the Ehler. And part of the reason is that Ken Ehler is just such a great guy, he and his lovely wife. So just want to mention that if you want to get into being seriously gun geeky, you got to have a chronograph, okay? Then you can say, yeah, I get a little bit more velocity out of this load than the other. Oh, how about that? Michelle says, Mother's Day is 100 years old today. Woodrow Wilson signed it in 1914. That's very cool. Let's go to Roy on line 2. He's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hello, Roy.
Afternoon, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Mother's Day story. My boys were in junior high age, and I had purchased a little Mark I 22 pistol to kind of get them familiar with shooting a pistol. And we'd shot several times. One afternoon in rural Oklahoma where we lived, we were going to go out to shoot. I stopped by the mom's house, picked her up. She was 85 at the time, wearing trifocals. And I thought, she used to shoot, so I thought, well, we'll just have a family affair. So we went out. I shot a little bit, the boy shot a little bit, then my mother picked up the pistol. hadn't picked up a pistol in over 50 years and outshot all of us. It was just shot it really, really well. And pretty well just kind of packed up the pistol and went to the house.
That is a great story. That is. I hope you have shared that with other members of the family.
Oh, we have. It's that happened over 25, 30 years ago, and the boys and I still relive that quite often.
That is great. I love the story. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Leslie, take care. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll get you in here. Tell you what, when we come back, I want to tell you about a rifle we shot this week. We were out at the range doing all this work for Guns and Gear and Gun Talk TV. A .22 rifle that I think any mother would love. Well, I know they would because we had 4 of them out there, and the 2 women said, that was mine and that was mine, done. They just took them. We got to pay for them. We usually have to send these things back. They won't let us. They said, you're not sending those back. We love those rifles. When we come back, I'll tell you about the .22 rifle that I think any mother would love. Well, heck, for that matter, you love it. I love it. It's a very, very cool and slick-looking rifle. 866-TALK-GUN.
Tired of overpaying for one concealed carry holster after another that is flimsy, hard to hide, or just plain uncomfortable? At Alien Gear Holsters, less than $30 gets you a professional quality holster that's super stealthy and ultra comfortable. Every Alien Gear holster is backed by a forever warranty, a 30-day test drive, and free shell trades for life in case you buy a different gun. AlienGearHolsters.com. AlienGearHolsters.com.
Brownells proudly celebrates 75 years of history and heritage as the world's first choice for firearms, accessories, ammunition, and gunsmithing tools. So whether you're a gunsmith in need of parts and supplies, a new shooter looking for the perfect holster, or a skilled competitor seeking the latest gear, Brownells has what you need. And best of all, every purchase comes with the industry's only forever satisfaction guarantee. Visit us at Brownells.com.
The world can be a dangerous place. Gear up with the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Equipping your firearm with laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com and receive a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge. Crimson Trace.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where bore tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting bore tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let bore tips help. To find a dealer, visit boretips.com.
You already know Liberty safes are great values. Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com, click the Fat Boy safe, promo code Tom, save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
A famous radio consultant once said he'd be off the air in a year. Whoops! Defending your Second Amendment rights since 1995 on over 150 radio stations nationwide. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
Yeah, I think we're up to 165 now, 165 stations carrying Gun Talk, plus all the other ways that you can get it. By the way, don't forget to register for a chance to win a Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum revolver. Very cool, long barrel, really slick Performance Center revolver. Go to guntalk.com/win. It's free, just enter for a chance to win. We're going to essentially pull a name out of the virtual hat, the internet hat, if you will. I mentioned a rifle that we took out to the range. We actually took 4 of them because we had the 4 different colors out there. And this is just the coolest thing. It's the Smith & Wesson M&P 15-22. It is essentially it's an AR-15 and 22 rimfire, if you will. But now they've got it in colors. What am I looking at? purple platinum harvest moon. I have a tan something or other, a pink one. Here's what happened. I mean, these things shoot great, and we had no problem. We got some really great video with them. But Sandra in our office, she said, I want the harvest moon because it matches my red hair. And Sarah in our office says, I want the purple platinum because I'm going to throw some extra yellow gold on it. And with the purple, we're going to make it an LSU color gun. They love these things. They shoot great, but they look wonderful. If you, I'm telling you, it's got the collapsible stock, the adjustable stock, so a youngster could shoot it with a short stock, and as he or she grows, you can extend the stock out. It's just neat. You go to the Smith Wesson website, smith-wesson.com. Take a look. It's the M&P 15-22 in these colors. It is. I want one. I think I like the purple one. I think that's the one I like. Yeah, and it is great training for shooting ARs too. So there you go. Let's see now. Darlene is in Palmer, Kansas on line 3. Hey, Darlene.
Good morning or afternoon.
Yes, indeed. What's the story about your youngster?
Well, he was 4 or 5, and we had gotten him a BB gun for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And we went out to the barn, and he was looking for something to shoot, and there was a pigeon on the side of the barn sitting there on a nail. Mm-hmm. And I told him, well, I bet I could shoot that pigeon. And so he gave me his gun, and I shot it right in the eye, and it came down just right now, not expecting to even hit the thing.
Right.
And because, like I said, I had never really used a gun, and only playing cowboys and Indians with toy guns. So.
Right.
But
so did that end up making you a shooter? Did you shoot after that?
Well, maybe only targets.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I had gone hunting with the boys. I was there coming, look out, help them. Well, I walked along with them, let's say.
Okay.
That. I never really shot at any animals after that, but they did. Then they're both hunters, and grandkids are hunters, and...
That's great. Well, I love the story. By the way, I have shot a number of pigeons, and they eat really well. All they are is, just delicious birds. So if you ever get a chance, pigeons are delish. Tell you what we're going to do, darling. We're going to send you a Brownells gift card. Thank you for calling. Appreciate that. I do want to get Mike in here out of Farmington, New Mexico. He's on line 2. Hey, Mike.
How you doing, sir?
I am good. What's the story about how your mom outshot you?
Well, it was... In '68, we got caught in the riots, and then after that, my dad got us into guns and stuff. And my mom would outshoot all of us, and my dad was a volunteer deputy sheriff, and actually, Mom outshot most of the guys in the force. She would shoot a Browning 25 auto at 75 yards.
Oh my heavens!
Yeah. And
that's
she
impressive.
was out shooting most all the officers besides us. I mean,
I will tell you, you know what? I cannot tell you how many times I've heard the story where people say, well, my mom outshot us, or the women in the class outshot us, or firearms instructors say, yeah, if we get a class of 20 people and 2 of them are women, chances are those 2 are going to finish in the top 5. They're simply going to outshoot most of the men, partly because they listen, they actually pay attention to the instruction. But also, I think it's a matter of ability to focus, because shooting is mental. It's not really a physical thing. If you can focus your mind and then focus your eye and get hard on that front sight, and you can control the trigger carefully. And women tend to be a little more dexterous, and better fine motor skills, perhaps. And getting that trigger to go off exactly when they want. I mean, it's just not at all uncommon for women to outshoot the men. More power to them. So if you're a woman, get into it. You get a chance to beat up all the guys, which is always a fun deal.
Join the NRA via Tom Gresham's Gun Talk website and receive $10 off the regular membership price. Log on to guntalk.com for details. You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Just because we're wrapping up on the air doesn't mean we're done talking about guns. Stick around for the after show. It's our podcast-only version designed to include all the stuff we simply couldn't fit into a regular show. Call in now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, back to Tom.
All right, if you're on hold, we're going to get to you either in this segment or maybe carry on to the after show. If you'd like to join us, we still have a couple of lines open. You can call us right now, 866-TALK-GUN, 866-825-5486, and we're gonna do the after show. If you haven't heard the after show, by all means, you got to go to our website, guntalk.com, and it'll tell you how to get there. Or you can get it off iTunes or Stitcher or some of the other ways you can pull it down. But there's more to the show than what you hear on the radio. We actually do some more in a few minutes. So anyway, that's if you're on hold, don't go anywhere, all right? Let's see. I wanted to talk to John on line 4 out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Hey, John, you got a problem with sighting in?
Yeah, I seem to be all over the paper. I got the rifle about 2 weeks ago. I got a 3x9x50 using loophole mounts. It's a BSA scope. I took it out last week, and I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if I was standing in it. I got it home, cleaned it up, realized I had a couple bolts loose on the mount, so I tightened everything down, Loctited it. Went out again today with my wife, and, well, she made me look stupid. But long story short is I'm hitting at the same level on the paper, but I'm always left. I've adjusted as far, or I'm always right. I've adjusted as far left as I can, and I can't seem to bring it in.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out if it's something I'm doing, or if maybe I need to look into changing the optics entirely, or maybe it's a Savage Axis and I'm getting what I paid for.
No, this is going to sound weird. It's possible. Several things are possible. One of them is that the screw holes for the scope mounts that are drilled into the rifle were drilled in off center. They're not lined up. That happens, weird as it sounds. And when that happens, you'll use all the range of the scope's adjustment, and you still can't get it over. So that's a possibility. Let me ask you, do you have like a small group? They're all in the wrong place.
Well, it starts out, I'm stacking them up, and then it starts spreading them out.
What caliber?
I'll put 2 or 3 of them together, and then I'll get a wild one. And I'm wondering if that's me flinching, then that's what I've been writing it down to, is I get one out there and it flinches. But they're pretty consistent, staying together within about an inch of each other. Okay,
well, if they're within an inch of each other, it's probably not the rifle, and it may not even be the mount. I'm going to make a suggestion. Pull that. Do you have other scopes on other rifles, maybe?
Not at the moment. I'm just getting back into shooting. I've been out of it for a while. Everything I had, the government issued me, and now I'm a civilian, and I'm trying to get back into it so I can start hunting again.
I would be, if you can borrow a scope from somebody, try a different scope. That's the variable that I would go to first. I would try a different scope and see if you can get on with that. If you can, then the problem's with the scope you have. It's probably not a loose mount if the shots are all grouping fairly close together. That's just not hitting where it's supposed to. It could be that the holes that are drilled in the receiver, the rifle's receiver, are not drilled correctly. They're not lined up right. It could be that you've adjusted the mounts wrong. If it's a loophole mount and you got adjustable windage on the back, use those big screws on the back on those loophole mounts, loophole/Redfield type mounts. Move it with those big screws to get the windage, the left and right, correct, and then use the scope mounts for the fine tuning. If all else fails, get it to a gunsmith and see if you can get it bore-sighted, at least get it pretty close, and then start working your way up again. I appreciate that. All right, if you're on hold, by all means, hold on. We're going to do the after show in just a second here. If you'd like to join us, if you never participate, you don't know what the after show is about, call us right now, 866-TALK-GUN. You could be a part of it. Trust me, this thing is a bunch of fun. Have a great week.